Good morning. It's October 22nd, 2024. I don't even know. I didn't even check to see what day it is. It must be a Tuesday because remembering what I did yesterday, it always happens on a Monday. So today's
John Williams
Tuesday.
said, "Good morning, Doug."
Hello, John Williams. Good to see you. I'm missing one of my screens. It was there. I don't think I really need it, so I'm going to go along without it. Go take care of my usual first.
Bobby Warren said, "Hey, Doug."
Hello, Bobby. My usual first task is come in here to edit and change chat so anyone can chat, including you new people out there who are thinking, am I going to chat today? Am I going to chat today? Should I chat today? Yeah, try it. Say hello. See if we don't greet you friendly and welcome you. I have stuff on my list, starting with Pineappleroad. I have referred to him sometimes by his first name of Aiden. Story about a fiber optic installation gone wrong. So as I go through his story for you, keep in mind he is a technician. I don't quite remember where and what work he does, but keep in mind as we're going through his problem, he's a technician, and imagine what you would say to him if he were describing this situation to you before he reveals the solution. Now, I got to position this a little bit so I prevent showing his email address and his full name. Here we go. Just managed to fix a very annoying problem. Now, I'm going to take that back off screen and let you know when this came in. This came in, let's see, Friday, October 18th. And to scroll up to where it shows his name and email address to see that. Just managed to fix a very annoying problem. I had full fiber service installed today. Let's see, I'm going to take that off screen again and be sure that my red dot doesn't mess things up. The engineer who did the install set up the new router for us, but a very strange issue happened. The lights on the router indicated all is well, but we couldn't connect to the internet on any devices. So for about 9 hours, I had to use a spotty 4G connection on my phone. Now, he doesn't tell us here what the engineer said about that. Did the engineer just leave and say, I don't know? Or did he not stay around long enough to know that internet wasn't working? I don't know that. He doesn't tell us that. Below is a photo showing the ONT, the box that the fiber is terminated into. Now, I will reposition this. That's okay. I can scroll around here. I know how far I can scroll. So here's the fiber coming in through the wall, and then it runs over here, and then it terminates into this open reach box. And if I click on that, I can zoom in a bit and show you there's the connection for optical, the connection for the local area network, the connection for power. No, I can't read what that one is. An alarm light is not on. Network light is on. PON and power. PON, I think that's the fiber optic. So then I'm going to zoom back out of that, close that, and continue with his description. And here's a photo showing the back of the ISP supplied router. The hand is covering the sticker with the Wi-Fi password, and I'm having to wait for some adapters for phone sockets. So here's the back of the router showing the connections, power, WAN, wide area network, and local area network. So that's probably going to a computer, that yellow one. And then we see that this router also has telephone connections, but he's waiting for adapters for that. We've got green light for internet and phone and Wi-Fi showing right now, but this isn't the video, so I don't know if those are staying on green, but let's stick with his description of the situation. The internet light on the back of the router. Why on earth are the
Martin Hogg said, Doug, OpenReach is in UK.
Yes. And he's going to talk more about that later on. The internet light on the back of the router, why on earth are the status lights on the back, was green, but would occasionally show blinking red before shortly turning green again. I have seen the symptom before. Not on that type of a router, but another router. It was not fiber optic. The phone light was off, which wasn't right, as we have a VoIP service provided by the ISP. Now he says the phone light was off, but we see it on. So there's a little bit of disconnect between the description and the pictures that we're seeing. Now I'm going to reposition. Earlier, I tried various things within the admin interface on the router. Nothing worked. So with this much said, what are you gonna say to him? You know he's a technically competent person. And what is that going to cause you to think of or suggest? Now I'm not scrolling lower yet, because when I scroll lower, you will see the solution. This is a cautionary tale to all of us smart technicians. Yes, OpenReach is in the UK. Bluetooth BT, I think. ONT
Bobby
needed
Warren
a
said.
firmware update. Call another engineer. I've had many times where the technician that's doing an install does call his helpline for help. But there's one thing that I've seen them do many, many, many times, which is now my clue for this type of a situation. And let me get back to the main thing here. Yeah, this part would occasionally show blinking red before shortly turning green again. That's the symptom that I have seen before. And I have a pretty clear conclusion what is going on at that time. So, and he told us earlier this was like 8 or 9 hours. So now I'm going to scroll down and you'll see, you'll slap your forehead, some of you. After several hours of no internet, I eventually decided to try turning the router off and on again. It's not a good idea to do that when it might still be setting itself up. I'm not really so worried about that. Flip the power switch on the electrical outlet to the off position. So that's how he turned it off. Waited a few seconds, flipped it back on, and the lights on the router started doing a bit of a dance. After about 10 to 15 minutes, I noticed there were now 3 green lights on the back: Wi-Fi, internet, and phone. Let's see, is there more down here? Yeah, that was the end of it. So basically it was turn off and on again. Now, but that wasn't the original, that wasn't actually the solution. What I think happened here, and I've seen this happen with many new installs, is there's a thing called, it's not activation. I always have trouble remembering this word. It's about 4 syllables long, I think. It's where basically in the home office, they are assigning the account. Once the equipment is out there and the office can see it, then they can provision the account. So when he probably called into the office, says, okay, I have the equipment installed, let's provision it. There was some glitch or hiccup with the provisioning, and later on in the day that got fixed when he restarted the router. It went through its little dance with the lights. I've seen this before where it's blinking for a while and it turns green and it goes back to blinking. That's because the provisioning hasn't gone through yet, I think. That is my deduction through working through several installs with various different ISPs. Now, there's more that he's given us. I'm going to scroll back to a subsequent email because he does say, and I didn't catch this in time because somebody already asked. So I'm just figuring out where I can position all of this. He says, before anyone asks, it's too late, somebody already asked, OpenReach owns the infrastructure that carries the internet connection into our house, but OpenReach is not an ISP, internet service provider. You cannot buy a plan from them Most ISPs where I live are more like virtual ISPs. And with what I said about needing an adapter for the phone sockets, phones where I live use a non-standard connector. The image below is of a DSL filter with sockets for both phone and modem. I have dealt with these filters a lot. Back in the day when through Pac-Bell and AT&T, when we were using DSL, we had to have these filters. And on this side, we would plug into the wall outlet for the phone because that line was providing internet service, DSL, internet, and phone service. In order for the phones to be able to talk properly, this filter needed to be in place. This side for the modem is basically, I think, unfiltered because if I remember correctly, I was able to plug a modem straight into the wall and it would function. But plugging a phone straight into the wall would not function properly. You'd hear some staticky noises, if I remember correctly. And a thing about this is that we would have some of these filters that had 2 ports. Some of the filters only had the phone port because you only needed the dual port at the location where you're going to connect the DSL modem. The other phones just needed the phone filter. So somehow, for some reason, it's odd to me that since he has fiber optic coming in, and the fiber optic, I don't think ever joins with the phone lines. Okay, well, no, what this is doing, I know what this is plugging into that router because he has VoIP. He doesn't have regular phone service. So these filters, the line coming from that router for the phones, before you actually get to a phone, you have to have these filters in place. That's curious to me because you're not going to need to plug in a DSL modem anywhere. So it seems like you would only need the regular filters, the filters that only have the phone line. But that was an interesting story. Thank you for giving us that, Aiden, aka Pineapple Road. And then I'll hit an ad break there because I haven't done that yet. Bad Doug, bad boy. Ooh, I got an exclamation mark. I don't think the ad break worked. Why did I get an exclamation mark? I'll go try doing an ad break over here. If I dismiss this and come up here and insert ad, did that do an ad break? I clicked that. I don't know. Something's going on weird here. Am I actually streaming? Yeah. All right. Oh, well. We'll try that again in a little bit. Okay, I will be reading through those later. Let's go on to something else. Yeah, you're on, he says.
Read chat, please.
Coming to chat. Martin Hogg. So that means read Martin Hogg. Who is his ISP, as most ISPs in UK provide their own router?
Svi Manor said no AD today.
Also, that router's phone ports are not standard UK phone port. Well, he's not in chat right now, so I don't know the answer to that question. Zvi says he didn't get an ad. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with that. Let's go give that another shot. Just before I go on to a new topic. Right there. I clicked it. Ads inserted. There it says ads inserted. Okay, that time it worked. Now, I'll go on to the next topic. GregM from chat yesterday. I actually have that pulled up over here. Let me see. Let me get to the right one. GregM, yeah, here. From chat yesterday, GregM said he had to remote into a client Sage 50 system today. The machine somehow had the network changed from private to public, preventing other users in the office from running the accounting software. The reason I wanted to mention this, and I captured this when I read through chat messages yesterday, is that I have had this happen many times. Usually the problem that I run into is people can't receive scans from the copy machine because their computer has gotten switched from private to public, internet type. And I have many times in many offices where this reoccurs. And it seems to be related to Windows updates. Seems to be close to that timing. But oftentimes when I find one computer in the office has been switched from private to public, others have also. Not all of them, though. And I've also had that happen here with my computers. So that's something to look out for anytime there's something going wrong with the peer-to-peer networking in the office, or even if there's a server. I've had servers switch from private to public internet type. And then when a computer's set on public internet, it's behaving as though you're at a Starbucks. It doesn't want to allow any communications between computers that are on the local area network. So it will block that type of activity. When you switch to private network, private in this case doesn't mean, no, I don't want anybody accessing me. Private means we are on a private local network.
GregM said this was about the same time as Windows Update came down to the accounting server.
Yeah, there you go. It's not private as in the sense that I don't want anyone talking to me. It's private in the sense that our locally connected computers are private, and we do want to talk to each other. So it's a little bit counterintuitive until you understand how networking is using those terms. All right, let's try another ad break and see how it goes this time. Let's see, I'm going to monitor this screen and cancel out of there. When I press my chapter marker for ad break and then press my button for ad break, does it show here that an ad was inserted? No, and I have the exclamation mark on the stream deck. So I'll click to insert the ad, and there it shows that it's inserted. Okay, then I can go on to the next topic, Frosty.Winnipeg. So here's three participants in a row. I love this. Yesterday, and that was at the same place in the same area, yeah, in the chat from yesterday, where he pointed out, because I was answering a question for Josh Kinder.
Manor said, you misunderstood the message. No AD to me every day.
No AD to me every day. Oh, because you have an ad blocker or something? No ad to me every day. Misunderstood the message. No ad to me every day. I guess it's because he has an ad blocker. Okay. Fine. Thank you, I guess. I was answering a question from Josh Kinder about screen recordings, and I was showing the technique that I showed. I said, escaping my memory right now. But he showed a different one. Quick and dirty screen capture. Windows key Alt-R records the entire screen. Crop it later if necessary. Also of note, imgur.com allows uploading of videos to a certain size and no account required. But when I mentioned yesterday about using your Google account, you already have a Google account. You already have a YouTube account. If you're able to be active in YouTube, you have it. Why not use it? So I'm not crazy about the idea of going to some other website, because if they're letting you do that for free, there's something they're doing for monetizing that. If the product is free, you are the product. Okay. Now I'll go show that. Here is the way this shows up when I did Frosty.Winnipeg's recording, and Windows key G will bring up the rest of the game bar content, which is a whole bunch of stuff there. But I'll go ahead and stop that recording and then demonstrate starting it again. So it was Windows key Alt-R. That gave me the whole thing. Windows key Alt-R. That's because I pressed the wrong thing. Now it is recording right now, but you see nothing on the screen. When you click anywhere on the screen, then this shows up on the left, upper right. Or maybe it was I just didn't wait long enough. Is that what it was? Did I just stop that again? Windows key Alt-R. Is it that I have to wait long enough for that to show up? Yeah, that is. Just wait for it. And then you can see the counter going through. And then when you stop it, does it take us straight to it? Clip recorded game bar. There's a settings here that you can go to. And I haven't spent a lot of time going through that. That's just another way to do screen recording. So thank you for that, Frosty.Winnipeg. Okay. I'm going to come over here to chat, see if I can understand better. Let's see what Zvi said. Misunderstood the message. No ad to me every day. Yeah, if you got an ad blocker, I don't really need to hear about that every time. Still not sure I'm understanding that way. Still not sure I'm understanding that right. Okay, let go of it, Doug. Move on. He has sufficiently confused the boy. And now I'm just pushing buttons randomly. Explanation for strange speaker bot. Is Jim KJ3N here or Ken Stout? Because I think they'll both be interested in this. All right, I don't see them there. Oh, I got to do the ad break again. I feel like I'm just thrown for a loop right now.
Yes, affirmative.
Ken Stout Live said, I'm here.
Oh, they are both here. Great. There was a strange speaker bot that played on Saturday that we all reacted to. And I think it is an interesting answer as to what happened. Let's see, is this it? Google search into YouTube. No, it was this one. So I have this at a timestamp 51:21 seconds. So I'll refresh that. With your Live Windows Training DougBetts channel, do you have experimental features on? Oh. You know what? I think I do. Experimental features.
The man said fire. See the problem 2 seconds earlier.
Okay, there was that odd speaker bot. Really couldn't understand what was going on. So I looked closer at it to figure out what was going on. Here's the message from Zavi Manor. Firefox, see the problem 2 seconds earlier. So I went looking at that further.
Al J said, sounds like a ghost.
It sounds weird. This is the recorded speaker bot message right here. And then it was the George Turbo V2. So I said during that video, oh, I want to go block that voice. But look at all these other George Turbo V2s. I did a search here to find all of the George Turbo V2s. All these ones that show October 19th. There were just 4 of them on October 19th. The others were previous days. Here's the way that voice sounds normally when it plays correctly on a previous speaker bot that used that voice.
Dobie Tech said, sorry, I am back.
So that's the voice. Here's what happened on the one that's really messed up. Now listen closely to, there are some words towards the end that you do hear. Listen closely to what words you do hear, because this gives us a clue to why it messed up.
The man said fire. See the problem 2 seconds earlier.
See the problem 2 seconds earlier. We heard that. If you're listening closely, you heard Zavi and you heard Manor, his last name. What was the part of that caused the problem? Playing it again.
The man said fire. See the problem 2 seconds earlier.
We also hear the word fire. So coming back to the message. Zavi Manor, we heard those words. We heard fire. See the problem 2 seconds earlier. The problem is, the cause of this, is that SpeakerBot is anti-Firefox. SpeakerBot does not like Firefox. Or Jim, because Jim was promoting Firefox might be the solution to the symptom that I was having. It wasn't. I'm just having fun with you, poking fun against this, saying that SpeakerBot is anti-Firefox. I don't know why it messed up. I don't know why it messed up. It just does that sometimes. Okay, there we go. I'm not blocking that voice.
Zavi Manor said testing Firefox.
Ah, okay, there you go. Good idea, Zavi, to test it. Well, try that same message, Here, I can do that. Let's go do this because we're technicians. We do this kind of thing.
Jim KJ3 and said, yeah, that would have been a stretch.
That would have been a stretch. Okay, I did a Control C there to copy that, and then go to today's show, the current show. I'll go over here to the chat room and try paste. So I'm pasting that exact same text, but well, I don't know if the particular voice that it chooses is going to be part of it or not.
Live Windows Training-DougBetts said Firefox see the problem 2 seconds earlier.
Nah.
Zavi Manor said we need the voice also.
Yeah. I might look into how I can pick that specific voice. I might be able to demonstrate that tomorrow to see what it does. NGNL. Is that somebody that has shown up in chat that I don't recognize? Let's see. No. John Williams to Ken Stout. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. That serves me right for trying to read somebody else's mail. That message wasn't intended for me, so I didn't understand it. Experimental features location. Around that same point in chat, back here, I think somewhere we were close to somebody asking or commenting about the experimental features, because that's another thing that happened on Saturday that we weren't finding that. Let me refresh this. With your live Windows training, Doug, pause that. It was near one of these. Oh, come on, give me that. Give me the chat. Give me the chat. Betts channel, do you have I don't remember if that was Saturday. Yeah, it was, because that's when we were troubleshooting that issue. Experimental. Yeah, there it is. Dan the Man had asked, with your live Windows Training-DougBetts channel, do you have experimental features turned on? And we had a couple, one or more links that was telling us how to get to the experimental features, and we couldn't find it. I discovered
Read chat, please.
where that is. Oh boy, I haven't done ads for a while, huh? Let's see, what is John Williams saying? Read chat. Nothing gained, nothing lost. Is that what you're thinking it was important for me to go read right now? I don't understand why you wanted me to read that. Anyway, on this experimental features. Oh, Doug, you are messing up so badly. Ad break. I should have just aborted that and let YouTube do it where it chooses. The experimental features. So what I'm going to do is bring up my phone on screen, because that experimental features is through the phone, the instructions that they were telling us. So here I'll get to the home screen on my phone. Let's make that full size. Go to YouTube. They told us to press, go to your profile icon. It's in the bottom right corner where my profile icon is. So I'm touching that. And then it told us use the settings gear icon in the upper right. Well, it's here on this one. So I touch that. And then here's experimental features, about the 5th item down. So this experimental features appears to be for viewing, for people that are watching on YouTube, and it's for premium features. So this is not for the content creator and the YouTube studio. Those are the instructions that we found on Saturday for how to get into experimental features. And then there's a sign up link on the bottom right. So that was just a follow-up to another item that we had on Saturday. We're at 9:30. And sensitive ad categories, let's do that another day. You're so sensitive. All right, that sounds good. Oh, I see what you're saying. The NGN, that's what you're telling me. You're trying to explain to me that nothing gained, nothing lost is the explanation of this NGNL. Yeah, see, those weren't enough words to make that connection. So Savima Noor gave me that answers it. See, you got to be, stop. You can't be assuming that I'm going to make the connection between something you say down here referencing an acronym up there. Nah. Yeah, no. That is the way to do it, Zavi. Well done. Thank you. Because that threw me for a loop. All right, I think that's all. Let's get out of here.
John Williams said too. Funny, Doug.
All right, too funny. You already know I'm easily confused. And I don't know what I'm doing. And you're trying to make it worse, trying to stir the pot. That button, and then that button. Have a great day, everybody. I'll catch you later. Goodbye.
Frosty.Winnipeg said Firefox.
That's all, folks.